In this tutorial, we will expand on our insurance agent display from our previous lecture by adding the functionality to delete an existing insurance agent from the database. This will mean adding a new delete method in our existing Struts2 action class. This method will in turn call a new implemented Spring JDBCTemplate method that will delete the selected insurance agent from the MariaDB database table. These are the high-level steps we will do so that we can delete an insurance agent in the database. First, we will reuse our created project from our previous lecture. Then we will update the agent's list form with a delete action link. We will also fix any Spring JDBC template bugs that we identified previously in our insert and update agent lectures. Then we will expand the insurance action class with a delete method. This delete method will call the JDBCTemplate Delete Method. And we will use the main method test driver to test the JDBCTemplate delete method. And finally, we will test the JSP with the delete agent link that will forward to the Struts2 action in our Tomcat web server with an Eclipse. Back in Eclipse, and we will start by copying our previous project. We will call it CRUD10. Close the old one. We do a global search and replace of all references to CRUD9. We replace it with CRUD10. Now we do a Maven update. And we run Maven clean package on our POM file. Build success. So now we can run the application on our Tomcat server. It looks like our list agents work and our update agent. Now, before we have a look at fixing the bug related to the active and expense displays not updating properly, we are going to add a delete link in this form, and it's going to be based on the same JSP logic as the edit link. So let's have a look at our agents.jsp. Here is our edit link. So we will just copy all of this and create a delete link. So this will call the delete agent action and pass in the agent ID, which means we now have to go to our struts XML and define the delete agent action. We'll reuse the show agent definition. And on success, we will redirect to the list page. That looks good. Now we need to go and add the delete method inside the agent action. We'll copy the show method. We will leave the database logic for later. So for now, we only have debugging logic that will display the agent and forward it back to the list page. In other words, we have a non-functioning delete methods, which should be good for now because we need to go and sort out this bug with the active and expense fields. Now basically reviewing the bug here, it looks like the active and expense checkmark and checkbox fields are not updated properly when we do a database update through our JSP form. See, it doesn't get updated. So what we will do first is we will confirm that our database update logic work with our main method test driver. So let's go to our main method. We will comment out the insert agent logic. We will uncomment the update agent test. And we will change our update here to test our agent and expense fields. So our existing test is for agent ID 3. So let's just go back to our database to make sure that's in order. So agent ID 3 will be Mr. Derek Campos. And in the database, both values are set to no. So let's do our Maven update, Maven clean package, and we'll run this as a Java application. All right, now we are ready to run it. And let's say what we're doing is we set up our Spring configuration, get the list of states, get the list of agents, print the list of agents, get agent number 3, sets the expense and active value to true, updates the agent, gets the agent back from the database, and prints it out. So run as Java application, get agent 3, and it looks like our database logic works. We can go back to our SQL and run our select statement again, agent ID 3, and it has been updated to yes and yes. What our main method tests showed us is that the database update logic works for these two Boolean fields. Now, while we have these two Boolean fields populated as yes values in the database, let's run the application and see if we can learn or identify exactly where our bug is happening. Okay, so we've done our Maven update and our Maven clean package. Now let's try and run it. So first off, we actually see that our display works here. Our checkboxes actually shows the two values for Derek Campos. So we know that reading and displaying it work. So now let's select edit. And here we see that our selective active and expense checkboxes are both checked off. So once again, it looks like the reading the values from the database succeeded. So let's uncheck one of these and we will submit it. Let's see what happened to Derek. So now we know it doesn't work on the submit of the update. Now we already tested the database update and we know that it works. So what is happening here is somewhere in between our action and the database, these fields are not properly updated. So our next step would be to go and investigate our code to see if we can find a reason for that. Let's look at agents.jsp, which is this form. And we'll see the property name is agent is active and agent is expense. Now that's just for the display. And here we actually have a test for the value active, which gives us a green check mark or the red cross. And we also have the test for expensed. This should map up with the value in our agent object model. We have a look here, we see that the actual value that is carrying is active and is expense. So there's definitely a discrepancy there. Going back to the display, We select the edit. This is our register.jsp form. So if we look at our register.jsp, we see that the checkbox here is active and is expense. So here is what I suspect is happening. The Struts 2 and both Spring use something under the covers in the layers processing where it gets all the values from the fields deduced from these names. The name is active, but the getter's name is also is active, and the setter's name is set active, which I think this is where the problem lies. I think we need to change this value just to active so that the underlying reflection logic in Struts 2 and all those interceptor layer magic works for us. So let's go ahead and do that here. So right click, refactor, rename. Now we'll have to go and change all the constructor logic. That takes care of the active. Now let's do the same for is expense. This time Eclipse will do all the logic for us. And everything looks good. We will go back to our two JSP forms to make sure our checkboxes and check mark values match their names with the field names in our agent model object. Expensed and active match in agents.jsp. And this looks like it will be a mismatch, so let's fix that. Alright, so now we'll stop, we'll run a Maven update and a Maven clean package and rerun the application. So let's test the update on Mr. Derek Campos. And it looks like magically it works. So obviously the process called reflection needed to have the proper field value names that it gets from the getters and setters. We see also here that we probably need to rename our property values as well. So we will change the property values in the package.properties file to match up with the names. Now we are finally ready to update the delete action with the Spring JDBC Delete method that we will test in our main method test driver before we run the Struts 2 web application. We let Eclipse create a method for us in the interface, and we'll stub it out in our implementation class. And I'll just paste in the code again here. So we're running a SQL statement that says delete from insurance agent, where agent ID equals the parameter value. We set up the parameter and the types, and we call the JDBCTemplate update method, which should delete the insurance agent. Now we can go back to our main method test driver so that we can test our new implemented delete agent method. Let's comment out our previous update agent test. And we will add our delete agent test in here. So basically what we are going to do now is get all the agents, print it, then we are going to delete agent 3. So let's run it. Let's have a look at our database result. And here in the database, we see that agent ID 3 has been deleted successfully from the database. So let's just put him back. Make sure that Mr. Derek Campos is back in the database. And now we are ready to go back to our JSP pages and see if we can delete the same agent from the JSP page. This will call our delete action. And now sometimes users will click on delete and they didn't mean to delete, so we probably want to have a way of asking them if they are really sure. And one of the easiest ways to do that is with a simple JavaScript modal text box. So let's just add that before we go ahead and test the delete method in our Struts 2 application. Underneath our head tag and before the body tag, we'll add in a JavaScript section. This is our JavaScript. All this is a confirm box. It does a Windows confirm pop-up box that says, do you really want to perform this action? And if you click OK, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. So now we will extend this href HTML tag to call this confirm box JavaScript action. This is how we expand the logic with an on-click that runs the confirm box, and if the users do confirm, it will actually delete the user. So let's do our Maven update and Maven clean package and run our application to test the delete of Mr. Derek Campos. Ready to run it. Here is our Mr. Derek Campos. So let's click on delete. And this is our pop-up action. So we'll say OK. And there we have it. He has been deleted once again from the database. We can confirm back with our SQL. And this concludes our delete insurance agent tutorial.